Okay, so I've got a cup of wood pellets, and it weighs 220 grams. Yeah, so I got about, say, 200 grams of those wood chips, wood pellets. Keep saying wood chips, and that's approximately, we'll say, 7 ounces. I'm going to light it up again. This time I'm going to just use a little bit of birch bark as the bed to create a little bit of cinder or some just basic smoldering fuel, but that will go out quickly. And then this seems like actually quite a bit, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to do a time lapse of this, but I'm just going to record this with a timestamp on it. The date on this camera is wrong, but the time is still the time. Well, actually the time isn't even correct, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to light this up, and we're not going to use any kind of my normal fuel. I did this yesterday, and I used probably a fair bit of my normal fuel, and perhaps this was smoldering quite a while too. I'm not sure. So to make sure that that's not causing the smoldering, I'm just going to use the birch bark, and then once you get that birch bark lit, I'm going to try to dump that in, and hopefully we'll get something going here. Alright, I'm not sure what's happening, but I assume those, okay, yeah, those, so I've only got maybe not even half of that in there, so let's just dump it in. Make sure they're lit though. I don't want to put out the fire completely. You just want to get those pellets a little bit crispy. There we go. So that's a cup. Ooh, that's a lot of smoke. Now I'm not sure where that smoke is coming from, but if it's coming from these pellets, I'm impressed already. Look at it. I can't get the camera much closer because I'm going to cook the camera. Okay, that's good enough. So there's smoke in there. I'm going to put it out. Let's just make sure that it's actually smoking and not just burning. That looks like smoke to me. Okay. Woo! Can you see? No, can't see anything. That looks like a good smolder to me, whatever is happening. I'm not, like there's smoke just pouring out of that, and now it could be the leftover birch bark, but maybe not. Let's just see. There it is. There wasn't a lot of birch bark in there. That'll smolder out. That'll burn out pretty quick. So if there's anything else, the only thing else in there is the wood pellet. So let's see what happens. There we go. Smoldering away. I don't know what the timestamp says. It says 2015-0101 and then some time. So I'll come back here and I'll just turn this camera on again with that timestamp so we know exactly how long it's smoldering. And this is what I want. I want a smoker that if I sit it down for half an hour and give it a poof later on, there's still smoke. So that was 200 grams of wood pellets that I tossed in here from a 18 kilogram bag. So that's 1/5 of a kilogram. So 5 times 18, whatever that is. Even if I come back in an hour and this thing is still smoldering, and especially if it's smoldering like this, I'll be 100% happy. It'll be better than most smokers that I've used, or most fuels that I've used. Okay, so I don't know how long it's been, but the timestamp on this recording should let us know. And I gotta tell you, there is smoke all over the place. This thing is just pushing out smoke, like it's just massive. So I don't think yesterday was a fluke. The wood pellets look like they're doing a job. I mean, check it out, right? This has been sitting here for that much time, and I haven't had to touch it, and there's no shortage of smoke. Now I put in a cup of the wood pellets, which is about 200 grams, and that was probably too much. It is actually quite a bit. It was like a big handful. So I might even be able to get by with less. And I'm pretty sure I would be able to. If this is the smoke that's like the smoke's just pouring out. I'm not even doing anything. Like I don't even have to push the bellows. So this is looking really good. This is impressive. Phew. I wouldn't call it the best smoke, but like, I don't know, when you shove it up your nose like that, I don't think there is such a thing as good smoke, but you know, people talk about cool smoke and stuff, but it's cool if you don't have a fire going. And by the time you keep it a good distance from the bees, by the time they take whip, like where my hand is now, that's, whoops, okay, now it's changed direction. But yeah, like right here, I can feel that smoke, and it's, you know, it's not hot. And you're not going to soak the bees in it like this. You're not going to drown them in it. It's just going to be, they're just going to get a whiff of it, right? Woof, woof, woof. So yeah, there's lots of smoke all over the place billowing out of this thing. So, good job. Wood pellets. All right, I don't know how long it's been since this thing was lit, but that should tell you. And the battery's going to run out, so let's just get down to it here. It's still smoldering. Let's see. This is what's left of the birch bark. I don't think that was smoldering. That couldn't have been smoldering in 2 hours, could it? Anyway, whatever it's been. So let's just take a look here. So it's probably not in focus because it's a GoPro, but you can see, yeah, it's right now. This is without me using the bellows at all, right? Yeah, let's just see. Oh yeah, it's hot too. So I think I'm gonna just guess right now. I'll have to test this out, but I'll use this from now on with my smoker when I use my smoker, when I'm not using my spray bottle. So this is my spray bottle, and it's just got water, a little bit of sugar in it, so it's a slightly sweetened water, and I set it to, hold on, there you go. See that? That's not even, should be even mistier than that, but it should be like a really fine mist, which I use all the time. 90% of the time, I just, there it is, right there. See that? And you hit them with that fine mist, fine sugary mist, and they go, ooh, and they love the mist, and they love the, well, they don't love it, but they get sticky with sweet water, and they start licking themselves off with that, and it gets them off the frames. It works almost identical to smoke, but without having to keep a smoker lit, or even having to light a smoker. Had I used this as a regular smoker and not just had it sit here and smolder for however long it was smoldering, if I was using it in my regular beekeeping and just, you know, pumping the bellows once in a while, I'm sure it would have lasted longer. It probably went out because I just wasn't pumping it. So this is good. I think this is, I'm encouraged by this. My process from now on will be just put newspaper or birch bark in the smoker, light it up, get some flame going, dump in a handful of the wood pellets, let them get, you know, kissed by the flame so that they're smoldering a bit. Boom, lock it up, leave it alone, and forget about it, and not worry about pumping the bellows every 2 or 3 minutes to make sure that this thing is lit.